But going back to the point of, and this is actually an interesting point because Indiana does have the whole school's choice thing. This has been implemented here. And there is,
That is
well, yeah, and there is in many cases where, there are students that are receive vouchers to go to better schools, and there's lots of different ways of doing it. And so what happens is those kids move out of either a local school system where they're at and they go somewhere else. And in theory, it sounds good. Okay, you're a parent, you get to choose where your kid goes to school. Hey, I want the best for my kid. I want them to go to the best schools. Awesome. It sounds great. But another problem is then school dollars are tied directly to what goes to what funds schools. Where do local schools get their money from? And the vast majority before federal dollars come into it, property taxes. So if you have a bunch of schools that are in neighborhoods where the average home value is say $50,000, you're not raking in a whole lot of money for property taxes, and therefore
no.
you don't have a whole lot of school funding just from the nature of the area. Nobody's fault, but just because of that. And so if you have minimal dollars going to a school, you have less resources, you can't pay teachers that much, you're getting the bottom of the barrel if you get anybody at all. And so then a parent looks at that and goes, oh, this school is horrible. They have no resource. They don't do anything. I'm going to send my kid elsewhere. And so this is why you've also seen the explosion in the whole charter school model in the last X amount of years, because it's essentially an alternative to where whether it be Fort Wayne Community Schools, Indianapolis Public Schools, the two big ones, to where they're fighting it tooth and nail because it's essentially taking dollars away from their schools. So the students that are kind of like you were mentioning before, the students that can't go somewhere else now stretch dollars are stretched even thinner. And so it's just perpetuating this problem, giant snowball effect of just making the whole situation worse. And so, like I said, there are some merits to the ideas, but once again, I feel like the ideas are nice, the intentions are somewhat good, but the execution is something to be greatly desired.